I don't know if you hear the music in the distance. Apparently the neighbors directly across are moving, which I don't really know them anyway. Like, I actually don't know them, which is cool, I guess. I don't know. I mean, everybody is a real person. You know, like, wow. What? That's not even my hand. It's the blanket. Don't mind my dirty ceiling fan. It's almost as dirty as you. You just don't talk about it. Yeah, I said that. It's true. My ceiling fan itself, look at how dirty that is. That's almost as dirty as you. You just don't talk about it. Not really. You just like to cosplay as being a little different than you are, and that's fine because people accept you not knowing that at all about you. Which, you know, again, that's fine. You're gonna pick and choose what you show people. You know, see, wait, you don't see it, do you? Do you see it? Why is the camera wrinkled? That's coffee. That's a Starbucks coffee. I just have it, like, literally, it's still cold from the fridge. I just have it tucked into bed. I have a Starbucks coffee, like, a whole, like, from Publix. It's actually, like, all the way full almost. I have it tucked into bed. How is that, like, an unstable thing to do for people? Like, is that, like, a bit much, right? I look like a dinosaur, which is fine. I don't know. I look like a dinosaur on the outside. On the inside, I'm just a stuffed animal. So, pick and choose what you want. You know? It's fine. I'll have other videos where you see my face more. I have a right to do that. It doesn't mean I'm insecure, dude. You're literally just like me. You just think you're different. You're literally just like me. You just think you're different. You just think you're different. And people accept you because you think you're different. Not because you would love yourself even if you were the same. Not my problem. I don't know. Do you feel like I'm talking to you? That was weird. I don't know. Do you feel like I'm talking to you? Do you feel like I'm not? So how do you guys feel about the whole, like, SNL skit with Chappell Roan? It's not actually with her, but it's like there's like a hippo, like, pretending to be Chappell Roan. Or actually some dude is pretending to be a hippo, pretending to be Chappell Roan. It's pretty good, right? I don't know. I don't know her opinion of it. But I think if somebody pretended to be a hippo as me, first of all, I'd probably, like, vomit. Like, there's no way I would be like, that's fine. There's no way I would be like, that's perfectly fine. I would kind of be like, why is that happening? Did I do something wrong? Especially if I were, like, bipolar or something. Not only would I think I'm wrong somehow for it, but I would already think that I'm wrong somehow for it, but if I were bipolar and had that happen, I would think that I'm literally a god, and then, like, a week later, right, or however long it takes her, she might feel like it's, like, the worst thing ever, and what if it's because she, like, looks like a hippo, even though she does not look like a hippo. So it's not like that, but I'm saying, like, I know that if I were in her shoes, my first thought would be, like, I must literally be a god, because why would somebody look at a hippo and say that that's just like me so much they're gonna make an SNL skit? Like, that's not even normal, right? That's not even normal. So I would definitely be, like, mentally unstable too if that happened to me. What do you mean this hippo is me? What do you mean this hippo is me? That's crazy. Crazy. Like, what? What? Actually, what? What do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? That's crazy. Crazy. Not fine at all. Literally crazy. You know? Like, I would just go insane. And it's not even her fault, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. I think at first I would probably be like, I must be a god if somebody looked at a hippo, decided that was me somehow. But then I would, like, right after that, think somehow that, like, I must be ugly if somebody thought a hippo looked like me, even though the hippo's cute and they're not trying to do it like she visually looks like a hippo, but you know that like she's a woman, dude. At some point she's gonna be like, why do I fit into the demographic of person that you would automatically decide must be a hippo and looks like a hippo, even though she does not. She's literally a goddess. Like, she looks so good. And it's not even just about that. She's just like a goddess in like every category, really. I definitely feel like a lot of solar plexus energy around her, but like in a way that anybody would go insane in her position. I think people try to overgeneralize and say maybe the pop star archetype is like that or something. But I think what people don't understand is actually how like heavenly Chappell Roan actually is spiritually. And I can feel like some of the trauma, which I'm obviously not going to get into, but obviously at some point not obviously, but I'm saying like, because you wouldn't know if you just met her. Like you wouldn't know, but I'm saying I'm correct in saying that at some point she experienced some form of trauma that influences her to this day, which I'm not going to say what it is because that's actually really like a wicked thing to do. Like if you can sense somebody's trauma, like you're not going to just say what it is, you know? So it's not like that. It's not like I'm trying to get tea on her. It's just like, you know, like I just know, I can just tell. Why I have this like hippo. It's like a little like phone charger thing. Like it goes on like this, you know. I don't know if you can really see it because my hand is in the way because that's how it works. Yeah, it's very hard to do. Not really, but like it's hard to show you and do. And I also want to give the hippo privacy because this goes in some weird places, but it starts like that, you know. Cheers. Anyway, yeah, honestly, I think that with Chappell Roan's energy, I don't know, like, my brain just got reminded of something else, but with Chappell Roan's energy, there's a lot of solar plexus focus, and I feel like that's a strength and a weakness. Sometimes when the solar plexus, I mean, I could be so wrong, but at the same time, I know that I'm right. It's like sometimes when the solar plexus is not like opened or balanced, I guess, like it feels like it's a positive and a negative aspect, so it can make people, I mean, she's also bipolar, so I'm not discrediting that at all. I'm sure that her doctors are correct. I'm sure that they came to the correct conclusion. I'm saying from what I can sense from more of like a spiritual standpoint is that sometimes when the solar plexus is not like in its perfect state, which I'm not saying she's not perfect, I think she is, but yeah, whatever, however we take this, you know, in a respectful way. But I think when the solar plexus is not perfectly aligned, I guess, or open, however you want to put it, because I'm just theorizing based on how it feels, like in the body, it feels like that like drop of like on a roller coaster, right? Like if you're on a roller coaster, you're like immediately going down or up and down, right? The solar plexus can cause that sometimes. Which, it sounds weird, but it's like, it can cause highs and lows. Like, it's like nauseating because it causes highs and lows when it's not aligned in the right way. So, I think when the solar plexus is sort of in a vulnerable state, for example, a person can feel like they're literally a god one day, and the next day they can feel like they are someone who actually looks like a hippo. Or it doesn't have to even be like a how you look type of thing. And it's not even like, you know, based on physical appearance, but it's like mental state surrounding physical appearance too. and like your interpretation of other people can put you on like a roller coaster where you're like in highs and lows. And I do think that some of her trauma impacts that, and I think that it's not her fault that she ever found herself in this position at all, even though it's like almost staged, not from her team or anybody, but I think the industry already has a structure that they wanted to force her to like align with and fit with, but they don't understand, and the whole globe doesn't understand that if you actually had the life path of Chappell Roan, I can feel it very strongly that if I were her, I would literally just be like vomiting everywhere constantly all the time, because I wouldn't be able to like hold that level. It's not because it's something that's like built up, so it's like at this current moment I would literally just be vomiting everywhere, because you have to understand that the amount that she's on a roller coaster, and it's not even necessarily about being in the public eye, I just think that's the current trigger of it. But again, it's not her fault because there's nothing wrong with her. It's like if somebody were standing in her life path, there was never a right answer, and there was never meant to be a right answer. It's like if she spent forever looking for a right answer, like she could have died or something. Like, it's so specific. And I can just sense that so strongly with her. So I think people need to be a lot kinder with her, especially when it comes to like people judging her over things that don't actually matter, which they do. Like, okay, so what? She needs a mental health day. If you were in her life path, you would have not lived, like, at some point, you know? Like, I can definitely just feel that really strongly with her. Like, I can just sense that she is a strong person. She's not weak. She's just stronger than you, but she also went through more than you went through. For most people, she'd be stronger than them, you know? And maybe you're at an equal level of strength if you had a million moments in your life where there was never a right answer, but you just had to go with it anyway. Or you just had to figure out how to survive anyway. Like, that's just what I feel with her. And I think that she's a really good person. I could just see it in her eyes that she's a good person. Like, down to her core. Genuinely. So, I don't know, I hope that she actually likes the hippo thing. At the same time, there's a lot of, like, fun in her eyes and a lot of lightness that, like, even an amount that surpasses the amount that most people have. As far as, like, ability to laugh at jokes, ability to, like, take things in a lighthearted, funny way. I think that's what people don't understand about, like, mental health. They think that she's taking everything seriously in a bad way, but she's not. She's actually able to, like, laugh at herself and other people way more than most people. It's just that, like, if you were on the exact roller coaster she's on, odds are you'd also find it impossible or almost impossible. It's just that she got lucky enough to find it almost impossible instead of impossible. That's how closely I could perceive Chappell Roan, but, yeah, of course, I hope that she would find that everything I said was respectful and that the parts that I left out were respectful, because her spirit did show me more than that. I'm just not saying that out of respect for her, because she's a really good person and I can feel that. Genuinely somebody who, like, makes an effort to be a good person, regardless of what people are trying to make up about her right now. Like, I think politically, sometimes we just have to let people have a voice, even if you don't think their voice is, like, what you like or something, you know, like, let people have perspectives, even if they're not what you have. That doesn't make sense to say nobody can have a perspective, because then you just don't even want free speech on the planet anymore. And you're the one who's going to collect karma from not wanting free speech on the planet if you don't want that. Like, it's not the other person who's going to be on the receiving end of karma that you're choosing to be engaged with. I don't know, I'm having fun. I like that I can perceive celebrities to a very close degree. It makes me feel like I have a way closer degree of separation to most of them that I'm even aware of, which is super silly and funny. You know, maybe it's my future self or something that's cute. Maybe not. Maybe there's just, like, people around me who, you know, I have, like, a close degree of separation with without even knowing, like, who they're related to, something like that. It's fun. Honestly, Chappell Roan's probably the only celebrity that I would actually want to meet right now. Like, the other ones are okay. I feel like Sabrina Carpenter's so cute that I would want to meet her. Like, I swear she's probably even cuter in person. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like that would just be, like, an adorable encounter. Like serotonin, right? Like, I feel like that would just be, like, cool. I don't know. Maybe Taylor Swift would be cool to meet. I feel like her energy would be interesting to perceive in person and see, like, what I expected and what I didn't expect. There's celebrities I don't want to meet. Like, there's celebrities that I would walk the opposite direction of the opportunity to meet. Is it mean if I say who? It doesn't mean that I hope they, like, aren't alive or something. I just don't feel fascinated with them. It doesn't mean, like, at the moment, like, it doesn't mean they're permanently, like, not people that are okay or something. I think they're fine. Maybe. I don't know. These just aren't people that I feel like their energy is exactly what I'm interested in perceiving right now. Like The Weeknd, I would not want to meet him. Are you kidding? If I got handed a free ticket to meet The Weeknd, I would give it to somebody else or throw it away. And I feel like The Weeknd is also the type of dude that would hear one stranger say that and, like, start crying. Which is, like, and I feel like he has this, like, petty energy, but not in a good way. Like, not in an evolved way. Like, I feel like he's just so second dimensional that if I were around him, I would just, like, feel pain in my body and not know why. Like, I feel like, yeah, like, I don't know. But I don't think he's the type of second dimensional person that immediately makes the person next to them, like, grow and double in strength. Because I definitely think that type of second dimensional person exists. To where they're second dimensional, but they still hope for the best for everybody. They just don't know that they're second dimensional because they haven't evolved beyond that. And then there's the type of second dimensional, if I could talk, there's the type of second dimensional where, like, they had the opportunity to evolve, but instead they just, like, did a lot of drugs, or, like, just did something, like, crazy. Yeah, no. I can already feel, like, The Weeknd, like, his energy, like, again, like, I'm not gonna, like, make false claims about him, because I don't know, I wasn't there, but, like, there's some shadows here. That even if he works for them, works with them, wow. Freudian slip there. But I said, even if he works for them, it's not gonna work out. What I really meant, I don't know who, but whatever. I guess sometimes you say what you're meant to say in a way, but yeah, there's just, like dark, like, sludge around The Weeknd. Like, there's some stuff that, again, I'm not gonna make up, like possibly, like, false things if I wasn't in the room with him. Who knows what he did or didn't do. But there are some shadows that we can just kind of, like, allude to the fact that, let's say he decided to do everything in his power for the rest of this physical lifetime to work on what was happening and, like, make it better and try to get even and make things okay. He's never going to break even in this lifetime because he doesn't have enough time left to break even. So that energy's just around him. You know, I'm not going to say what he did or didn't do because I wasn't in the room, but there are certain life paths where, like, you're going, even if you try to break even with karma and, like, have a clean slate, at a certain point, I mean, we can put 2 and 2 together, at a certain point, there's certain things that, like, I guess you could say, like, I don't know whether it's things he did or things he perceived that he did, but, because I can't separate the two, but, because I'm not, like, a serial killer, you know, then I could probably separate the two, I don't know, but I have no interest in, obviously, doing something bad enough to where I would open up that level of perception within myself, or maybe there's a better way to do that I'm just not aware of, because I can sense stuff, but I can't sense everything. It's easier to sense energies that you've been exposed to yourself, and the farther you've been from something, the more it's just, like, a blurred category, to where you can only associate it with, like, things you perceived from afar, right? Like, if you've seen a tornado from miles away, you would be able to recognize a tornado and tell somebody else when you see another tornado. But if you've been at the center of like 70 tornadoes, you're going to be able to tell people what type of tornado you're both in the center of the next time. You're going to be able to explain to them the exact difference between this tornado and the other tornadoes that you've been through, and exactly how to survive this exact one based on the other ones that you've survived. Whereas if you've only seen a picture of a tornado, or if you've never seen a picture of a tornado, but you've only been told about the theory that one might exist, your exact way of like describing how to survive a tornado is going to be very different depending on how exposed you are to a tornado. Psychic abilities are the same way. You have to actually have some of the in-person experiences to like plant seeds. And then once you have those seeds, they sort of grow. And then depending on how much they grow over time, depending on how much you're able to sort of like analyze them more in a way, hopefully correctly, you know, you like expand your ability to see or feel, you could say. Yeah, so with Chappell Roan, I can get a lot closer. With the weekend, I can just feel that he's never going to break even with his karma because he's already, I mean, I can feel more, but because it's not good, even though he would sort of deserve to be outed more, I mean, he would. If it's true, he would deserve to be outed more, but it's one of those things where somebody's just going to have to investigate him, you know? And I'm not going to try to say what they should investigate him on. Just that there's something that he's not going to be able to break even with. And at the same time, it could just be that he perceived himself as being such a bad person to the degree where he's not even going to be able to break even, or it could be that he actually did something. I'm feeling that he did something because it's deeper. It's in his lower chakras, it's not in his higher chakras. Like, it's not even in the solar plexus, it's like in the sacral and the root chakra, primarily. The solar plexus with him is actually mostly fine, it's just that he's in the second dimensional energy, so he's... But okay, so he's not in the second dimensional energy where he's currently feeling that he is the one who's predatory towards someone else. He feels in his own, I mean, right now, currently in his energy body, it feels like he sees himself as being the victim of someone else, but in the lower chakras to where he feels like he's never going to be able to break even, not because something happened to him, but because he chose to do something. So I'm not going to like get into it, but who knows what he chose, right? If we weren't there in the room, if no one did an investigation with him, but I'm saying like somebody's probably going to do an investigation on him at some point, or maybe he'll be on the list somewhere. I don't know. I don't know what type of list. We'll just leave that up in the air because nobody came out with anything, you know? That I know of, I don't know. But with him, with the weekend, if somebody comes out with something, it's like 80% true. I would say 80% true because the exact people who are going to come out with something have it, like really have it out for him. But the issue is that like he's not innocent either, and he knows that. But he's definitely gonna say he's innocent. And he's also the type of person who would be like a crybaby about it, like weirdly. Like he could like step on a frog, intentionally kill it, and then cry because he thinks the frog hurt him by living, to begin with. You know? I don't know, that's just like, why am I doing this? That's just for fun. A little fun energy read on celebrities. There are some who like I can't even like perceive as closely. I mean, if I really try to, I can. There's a lot of them I don't want to. Such as, well, okay, I can, I just don't want to. Like Katy Perry, Ariana Grande. I don't want to. I know some stuff about Taylor Swift that I don't feel like even saying either. Because, you know, just because. I guess because for Taylor Swift, it's not like end of the world type stuff. It's just weird. But it's not that she, you know, it's that she doesn't know something about herself and about her own choices. It's not like making evil choices. It's just like she doesn't know a lot about her own choices, which is fine. Like, not offensive to her, I guess. She's fine. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I can't perceive everything about her, I guess. But I can perceive what other people can't perceive about her, and I can perceive what she can't perceive about herself, which is so weird, so weird. Such a weird, you know, paradox, I guess. But there are certain parts of, like, the celebrities that I can't perceive just because I don't have experience in that area, you would say. I don't know. I love you guys. Hopefully you liked this chaos of a video. I don't know. If you can, like, read energy, celebrities are so weird.